Today we will be presenting on the benefits of legalizing medical marijuana.
Super News presents the Master Debaters. Tonight, marijuana and crystal meth will master debate about drugs. 3, 2, 1, master debate.
And I thought you were cool. You were the gateway drug.
Hey, come on. I'm still illegal on a federal level. See, okay, the states made me legal, but the federal government and the EPA were like, wait, no, the DEA was...
CIA is behind everything.
So that video may have been a humorous video, but it does bring up a larger issue, which is that a lot of misconceptions do exist about the benefits of medical marijuana. So far, the laws are changing in many states. 23 states and the District of Columbia have already legalized medical marijuana. And our question now is how many more are to come and what are the benefits?
States with legalization have seen growth in tax revenue. For example, from January to July of 2014, Colorado earned over $32,000 in excess taxes.
The legalization will create new jobs just like when any other market opens up. It will have dispensaries, growers, edible chefs, and many other jobs that we'll discuss later on.
This is a very hot topic in the news. Drugs in general are right now. But when you Google marijuana in the news, some of the top posts are as recent as 22 hours ago.
So one big issue that's going on right now is civil forfeiture. And this is when police officers take items, including money, cars, and houses from citizens without actually charging them for anything. And this happens when they suspect that items are related to drug sales or drug production. And a large portion of items taken are suspected of being related to marijuana use. The case is brought up directly against the property and not against a person, and this video will go more into that.
Many folks are unfamiliar with the idea of civil forfeiture, which is actually a case brought directly against a piece of property where you don't need to be proven guilty of a crime for your goods to be taken away.
Exactly. You don't need to be charged with a crime because it's not you that's on trial, it's your stuff. That's why these cases have historically had eye-catching names such as, and all of these are real, United States versus $8,850 in US currency, United States versus an article consisting of 50,000 cardboard boxes more or less, each containing one pair of clackables, and United States versus approximately 64,695 pounds of shark fins.
So you can clearly see from that example how ridiculous the concept is.
Only a preponderance of the evidence is needed for the police to seize something, and this means that very little evidence is needed. The officer can simply have a gut feeling that the property is related to drugs. One officer cited that he seized $20,000 because average citizens just don't travel with that much cash. $2.5 billion has been taken since 9/11 in 61,000 seizures from people who were not charged with a crime.
And to add to the absurdity of this concept, there is no limit to what a police unit can buy with the money they seize. In one instance, the DA's office purchased a Zamboni. When the auditor attempted to find the Zamboni, it could no longer be located. And in another example, a police unit purchased a margarita machine.
Today we are focusing specifically on the legalization of medical marijuana. Marijuana first became illegal with the 1970 Controlled Substance Act, which classified marijuana as a Schedule I drug. Schedule I is the same classification as heroin and LSD.
So California was the first state to legalize medical marijuana, and that was back in 1996, and that set the precedent for many states to come.
One case, which is one of the first cases brought to the Supreme Court, was Reich versus Gonzalez, where Reich a woman in California who used medical marijuana tried to prove that the 1970 act was unconstitutional based on the law passed by California. This was, however, shot down, proving that the act is still constitutional.
So we want to briefly discuss with you why we think that medical marijuana should be legalized. And that is because it does help many patients. Some possible effects of treatment with cannabis include a decrease in pain and inflammation, blockage of cell growth, the prevention of blood vessel growth that supplies tumors, and this is all through the active chemical in marijuana, which is THC. And essentially this just means that it helps people control severe pain use and helps treat cancer.
A new product warrants new jobs to bring to the market. So with the legalization, many new jobs are brought about. A cannabis advocacy group from Montana reported that 1,400 new jobs have been created in the state so far, and 70% of those workers had been unemployed prior to those jobs.
Now this may look like a very complicated diagram. When you break it down, it's pretty easy to understand. So this highlights the states that have already legalized marijuana and the tax revenues they're bringing in. And it also does an estimate of how much tax revenue we will gain from the whole country if it's legalized within the whole United States. And as you can see, it's a very large number. It would be over $3 billion. And while this data may seem unsupported since it isn't legal in most states yet, the person that made this map did their research. They calculated the potential state sales tax revenue based on state and local tax rates, and they used the Tax Foundation website to do this. They then added a 15% excise tax, which is the percentage that's currently used in California to tax marijuana.
Given the economic benefit and opportunity for job market growth, we predict that more states will follow suit on the decision to legalize medical marijuana.
So in conclusion, basically what we've talked about here is that medical marijuana is rapidly being legalized throughout the U.S. And we do believe that the legalization will have a positive impact on the economy, both through taxes and the creation of new jobs. And due to this, we think that more states will soon follow suit.
Thank you so much for watching our presentation, and here are our references.